You guys ever died to lava in Terraria? Yeah, me neither. But you know what you've probably used it for? That's right, enemy farms. Lava is the key component to 90% of the farms you've either seen or built yourself. And that's for a good reason. Lava's pretty good at killing virtually anything in Terraria. Wait. Virtually anything? Yeah, that's right, we're doing a lava-only run, baby. This is probably the worst decision of my life. Woo! So while I do character creation and world naming and stuff, master mode, by the way, which was past me's mistake. Oh, and this is modless. Ignore that it's still on Team Auto that I originally planned to use mods in case I hit some sort of wall, but I didn't. Anyway, while that's happening there, you're probably thinking, or at least those who know will be thinking, actually, only one boss takes damage from lava, and it's not even needed to progress in the game. Which you'd be right about. So let's bend the rules a little bit. Now, only King Slime takes lava damage, so for the other bosses, we have some things to sort out. First rule, I may use any source of damage as long as it is accompanied by the spread of orange goop, aka lava. Second rule, if a boss cannot be beaten by anything that falls under rule 1, anything that inflicts a fire or fire variant debuff may be used instead. And rule 3. Post-Golem, I got extremely bored and frustrated and I used a sniper rifle. This rule is here for you to ignore that segment in the run and pretend I'm actually good at the game. And without further delay, enjoy the worst idea for a challenge run that has ever graced the inner workings of my smooth orbicular brain. Deforestation is a terrorist's favourite first thing to do after being birthed from the creation screen's womb. We're surrounded by trees, we were gifted an axe, and we know how to use it. But let's get down to business. Houses. We got houses, we got mining, we got chests, we got the schizophrenia I'm contracting from repeating this for the billionth time. Guys, I don't think I can handle this. So instead, let's make a detailed plan to explain why we're doing this. Houses. They are for NPCs. Why do we need NPCs? I'm glad you asked. Actually, your first question is probably, what in the hell are you doing after King Slime? Which I follow up with hours of research in Wikipedia on how this run is physically possible. And we conclude with lava bombs. Most players have never seen nor touched these things with any of the receptors in their fingers or toes for that matter. And that's because you shouldn't. First of all, these physics-defying, lava-containing glass balls are acquired from fishing. Yes, fishing. Oh, you didn't hear me? We need housing for the angler. Yes, the angler. I might, just might, go insane. And that's not even the worst part. Or even the worst of the worst part. Plural. There's multiple worst parts, which doesn't make sense, since it's a superlative. I'm the one writing the script, and I say what goes. So to begin with, we need a golden bug net. Reason for that is lava bombs are obtained from obsidian crates, kinda. We can't fish in lava without a lava-proof fishing hook, which is obtained from fishing in lava, but you can use bait from hell, requiring a golden or lava-proof bug net. And the lava-proof one is locked behind bosses, which we can't kill, so we're gonna have to go with the golden one. It's days like these where I thank Relogic for that beautiful 1 in 80 drop rate. From fishing quests. Thank you guys. Thank you. Not gonna lie, these were the most painful 15 hours of my life. It took 15 hours to get our first usable weapon. Well, weapon. We have lava buckets, but they're limited and more likely to kill me than anything else right now. Probably only showing the highlights here, but there were a total of 113 fishing quests completed to get the stupid golden bug net. It's 1 in 80, and the chance increases as you do quests. During this time though, we managed to build a makeshift arena that would become the foundation of future lava damage oriented designs. And of course we killed King Slime with it, the only boss that takes damage from lava, and of course the lava makes the fight so easy, even in master mode. And since we currently meet the requirements for the Eye of Cthulhu to spawn naturally, but don't meet the requirements to fight back, low tier God's words echo in our head every time the boss health bar graces our screen. But with over 100 fishing quests, more King Slime, and enough patience to farm the Rod of Discord with nothing but a copper short sword, we have the golden bug net, and phase 1 of the plan to simply obtain a weapon is complete. So with the bug net obtained, the next step is rather simple. Go to hell. No, literally. With 30 minutes of endurance, we had sunbaked to fish in lava. And it was gone nearly instantly. But we got ourselves a demon conch. After a bit more trial and error, we got an obsidian crate, and inside, there it was. Wait, never mind, that's not. Oh yeah, I forgot to say. You get the wet bombs first, then you gotta make them dry, and then you make lava bombs from a lava source. The best part of all this? One wet bomb unlocks it in the demolitionist's shop. Still one tiny problem though. How do I stop myself from killing myself by accident? Well, the answer is simple. Build a lava pool and fish for about 3 hours to get a lava charm. Simple enough, really. Now that we finally have a way to damage every boss except King Slime, it was time to build an arena centered around lava bombs. Now you might be thinking, what does that look like? Well, it looks like this. The one thing that separates liquid bombs from every other explosive is that while they are timed like the rest, you can skip that by simply throwing them at a liquid. In this case, we're using lava pools just beneath the platform with gaps to let it drain into a large hole underneath, as well as obsidian platforms to stop them from being destroyed by lava. With everything prepared, we can finally take on our first proper boss fight, the Eye of Cthulhu. And yeah, Inferno potions are allowed as means of damage, I think that's fair enough. It also makes some boss fights actually possible in pre-hard mode, which we'll see later. Lava bombs do about 100 damage per explosion, which sometimes can hit twice, depending on the hitbox size of the enemy, mainly worms like the Eater of Worlds. But for Eye of Cthulhu, the plan was simple. Dodge the eye spawning phase, and as it dashes around, throw lava bombs into the lava pools to force the explosions. Phase 2 is the same, except do it faster and dodge better, and just be better at the game. And thanks to all the gear we've acquired through a grueling early pre-hard mode, the Eye of Cthulhu goes down and we get ourselves the tantalizingly delicious accessory, the Shield of Cthulhu. And to literally everyone's surprise, the goblins were nowhere to be seen, like anywhere. So I forced them to show up, which makes no sense. What even is a battle standard? Do the goblins get really annoyed I made a trophy thing from the clothes of their dead scout or something? I don't know anymore. The lava is the way most players kill them anyways, so not much difference there. Bold Blue Idiot acquired, meaning accessories, yippee, I can finally have everything equipped and not have the most messy vanity slots. Remember how reforging exists, and how we all cheered when the demolitionist started selling wet bombs? Well, now we regret that because money, you know, the thing we need to reforge and buy wet bombs instead of just threatening our NPCs with a fly meal. Fortunately, the solution to all our problems will only take countless hours off of our fleeting lifespan, and of course I'm referring to the classic enemy farm, fitted with water candle and jungle grass to increase income at the expense of our local denizens. As with 79% of Terraria playthroughs, after killing the Eye of Cthulhu you naturally move on to the brain, seeing as they're connected, obviously. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to fell it, but that wasn't the goal. No, we just wanted the materials from the creepers so we can make a Deathbringer pickaxe. I knew the brain would be a bit of a struggle at this point, so with that in mind we headed down to Hell to collect Hellstone, as Reign of Cthulhu isn't our actual target right now, it's actually Skeletron. To better prepare ourselves, we needed molten gear. Since lava bombs don't benefit from any class specific buffs or damage buffs at all, the best option would be to make the silly number in the bottom right go up so we can live for 0.5 seconds longer per boss fight, because oh my god, fighting with lava bombs is a nightmare. Guys, how much do you think a soul would go for? Do you think that the Goblin Tinker would take my soul in exchange for all perfect reforgers? With defense up to 50, we need an arena. So taking inspiration from the Eye of Cthulhu design, we got 2 pools of lava with a large gap to make sure it drains faster, and 2 platforms to do the gamer's dread of moving in a big circle to avoid the floating skull that will kill you on contact. I gave Skeletron a test attempt the same night I finished building the arena, just to test the waters, and I must say the water was a crisp 28 degrees Celsius. It was possible. So I gave it a second try the following night and success. Very close. Seconds away from death. Success. Now you're probably thinking, why do we need to kill Skeletron now? Well, it's the answer most of you are probably thinking, I just like the Cobalt Shield. But the mechanic is also important, because she'll let us set up liquid outlets inside our arenas and reroute the lava to hell, so we can pretend it isn't our problem anymore, but that'll happen later. More importantly, it's time to do possibly one of the hardest things in pre-hard mode, take down the Queen Bee while she's enraged. Listen, I could not be asked to rebuild an arena I just made larger, so we're taking the fight to me. And unfortunately, lava bombs are a no for this fight. But Inferno Potions, they put in way more work than you'd ever expect. And yeah, I was a little bit bitter that we lost to the Brain, so we're just going to do a quick rematch for the Brain of Confusion. My beloved. We have officially reached the point. And that point is the breaking point. My breaking point. Wall of Flesh was a nightmare of a fight. Mostly due to all the preparation needed, it was annoying. But after setting up some form of obsidian bridge, I made it obsidian by the way, because it's an aesthetic, and I value consistency, okay? Don't blame me. Off track, sorry. I wanted to get the party girl for some future arena builds I was thinking up in the one spared brain cell I had for this run. But somewhere along the way, nobody told me they changed their spawn conditions in 1.4, so I ended up collecting every pre-hard mode NPC when in reality, you only need 14 of the 17 available. So that was a waste of time. But that's all in the past. We've got movement and we're heading forward. Wait, sorry, I mean downwards because we're back in hell, and there's still prep to be done for the Wall of Flesh. The arena I had in mind was a long strip of lava to use the lava shack mountain while we fight, obviously while throwing lava bombs into the Wall of Flesh's eye sockets, but after giving it a test run with the minimal lava needed to use the mountain, things were not looking great. You know how the Wall of Flesh moves its body parts to accommodate for the room it has? Well, turns out this means I can't hit it with lava bombs, and it's completely immune to Inferno Potions. So instead of backing down and giving up like I should have, I doubled down on the original plan and told myself it would be fine, and all I have to do is add more lava, that way I'm higher up and can hit the mouth. Surely the Wall of Flesh doesn't move to accommodate for liquids. Right? Wrong. He does in fact move when I add more liquid, making the fight technically impossible with lava bombs, and I had even crafted Molotov cocktails in case this scenario played out, but guess what? They're useless! Take it from me, do not fight fire with fire. In the literal sense, it does not work out at all. My patience is still unwavering, and we will keep moving forward. And to do that, we refer to Rule 2. If lava is insufficient, use fire-inflicting weaponry instead. So with lava waders and a Molten Fury equipped, we still died. With the Volcano and Molten Fury, we still died. With the M-Star Volcano and Molten Fury, we still died. At this point, I think it's just a skill issue on my part, so feel free to comment that, because it's definitely true at this point. The Wall of Flesh would not get the better of me, and one final attempt would cement our victory, and changing the world state irreparably. God, what have I unleashed? The power of lava is not prepared for this. Unfortunately, we are basically back to pre-hard mode. We've got to smash the altars and mine up the ores like everyone does except summoners, because they get all the cool stuff to skip hard mode progression, you know. Anyway, we have blessed our world with cobalt, mithril, and titanium. So of course we have to get the cobalt pickaxe to mine the mithril, to get the mithril anvil and pickaxe to mine the titanium. It's hard mode, okay? We all know how this goes, and if you're watching this and haven't played Terraria, why are you watching this? Now that it's hard mode, we can also purchase bubbles from the party girl, which I thought would be much more handy than they actually ended up being, but who cares? After mining for approximately 1.58 hours, we have enough titanium to make a full set of armor. The melee helmet, obviously, for max defense. So we have armor, but of course we need new accessories, which there are two main sources, wyverns for wings and mimics. We'll start with the mimics, because let's be honest, it's too hard to take out wyverns right now. So after rigging up some poison traps to wake up the mimics, I just sat. It took way more mimics to get all the accessories than it should have. Also, it took ages just for mimics to spawn, much to my annoyance, but eventually we had a Star Cloak, Philosopher's Stone, and Cross Necklace. But guess what? Yeah, I never found a Band of Regeneration. Am I going to spend hours looking for one? No. I'm instead going to farm pixie dust for the wings and spend 10 minutes killing a single wyvern. Oh, and after, 30 hours total, we actually went over to the Shimmer. Definitely not, because there would be chests around that might have a band of regeneration. No, of course not. Has anyone else seen the new Reforge update for 1.4.5? Personally, I still wish the Goblin Tinkerer a horrendous end, but a button that skips straight to the best Reforge? I want it now! And before you ask, yes, we did not get 20 souls from the previous Wyvern, and yes, I'm mad that I have to spend 10 minutes fighting another one. And for those paying attention, yes, this is the time where we finally set up the outlet system attached to the arena and going down to hell to drain lava passively for when we're not fighting. And thinking about it now, would a hole to drain it be better, and just reloading to settle the liquids? Probably. Did I only think of that while writing this script? Yes. Yes, I did. Okay, there's a lot going on here and I'm lazy, so let's just say we finished a couple things and then moved on to expanding the arena. And at first I was going to create a separate one on the other side of the hill next to my first arena, but we'll combine them later. For now, the purpose of it is to fight the destroyer. Yes, the setup is scuffed. Yes, it doesn't work. And yes, you'll see me die later. But before we get to see that happen, we have some preparing to do. So we're fishing. It's always fishing, man. I can't escape it. Someone please hit my head in a way that it never thinks of a Terraria video idea that involves fishing ever again. Please, I'm begging. These preparations also include getting the spawn item, and vertebrae farming with lava is a pain to say the very least. Some final adjustments to the arena and we start the fight. I had planned to sit in a box and throw bombs at the destroyer, but this didn't work. Even using the volcano to take out probes, lava bombs just couldn't kill the destroyer within the time frame. Even though I technically did die before night ended, we looked past that and turned to a solution. Change arena and try a different mech. To nobody's surprise, the twins posed an even bigger problem, being that there is no way to consistently hit them with lava bombs, meaning they're also off the table, and I was not even going to try Skeleton Prime with these things. We all know they'd be useless. So now we turn to the real solution. That's right folks, a fire-inflicting substitute Shadow Flame weaponry. But not before trying to destroy again and having to take down another goblin invasion. And finally we managed to take out a single mechanical boss. And while some might say the use of the Shadow Flame knife is cringe and unbased, we just quietly ignore them and remind them this is my video. And also, what were you expecting the lava bombs to do? They literally tickle the mechs and get them a nice warm bath, man. And as is tradition with most YouTube videos, something did not go to plan and footage was just gone. Did I forget to press record? Did the file just kill itself? I have no idea. To recap what is missing, all the mechs are dead using Shadow Flame, the Terra Arena is built. The idea of the owner was originally to use a hoik to fly around and throw bombs into a bubble containing lava, but the stupid hooks get in the way, so that was not going to work. Oh, and we're not maxed out on life fruit yet, by the way, so there's something to look forward to. Speaking of that, the new teaser they released for the healing potion using life fruit looks pretty cool. But without further ado, I give you the Plantera fight. Phase 1 was just Skeletron, Phase 2, circle around and keep her in the bubble of lava so the bombs would connect, and yes, this takes absolutely forever, and yes, we can't use this in Phase 2, and yes, I tried using the volcano for it, and yes, we did die. So next attempt, we just substitute the volcano for the Shadow Flame Life and we are good to go. Phase 2 is a breeze, a sneeze, and everything in betweens. Now that we've killed a plant, it's time to collect magic mushrooms to grind into mush and stick to plant metal to make armor. Which makes no sense, but we're playing Terraria here, nothing makes sense. But before we can make Shroomite, we need to bring the magic mushrooms home so we can have such a bad trip it manifests as a mushroom man that sells you his child. The cyborg's also here, I guess, which is kinda important, seeing as we now have access to our first real weapon ever after only like, I don't know, 70 hours or something stupid. Even if it is the proximity mine launcher and the lava rockets, we fire do damage comparable to pre-wall of flesh. Finally though, we are officially tripping balls. That's right, we buy this strange contraption from the mushroom hallucination and in a stroke of genius create Shroomite bars, forgetting the recipe of our madness until we are once again tripping balls. Now after spending our life savings, our parents' pensions and robbing the nearest Tesco, we have enough ammunition to last until the next time we need to think about robbing our local supermarket, which will be a lot sooner than you may think. Remember how I said this is our first proper weapon? This means that we can finally benefit from damage increasing accessories. So off to the reality warping spacesuit to get ourselves a ranger emblem. Do you also remember how the proximity mine launcher kinda sucks? Well, to remedy that, we can get the rocket launcher from the dungeon now since Plantera is dead. Did I spend about 10 minutes trying this and then switching our farm to a dungeon one using Shimmered Walls? Yes. Yes, I did. Should you blame me? No, because using lava in the dungeon is frankly a nightmare. But once I had my filthy average size hands on that thing, I'd like to say I did something cool with it, but unfortunately it just went straight to the Goblin Tinkerer. Yeah. Golems next, so we have two things to do. One, shimmer our frog webbing so we can make the nasty ninja gear. And two, make a path from Golem's chamber to the Plantera arena. Yes, I can't be bothered to make a new arena. No, I'm not using the chamber. We would just fill it with lava and drown in seconds. With the various layers of the Lizard Temple conquered, it was time to attempt Golem. Now, this is going to take a while. There's two problems. The first problem is if we go too far, he's going to despawn. The second problem is enemy spawns are really annoying, but I can't fire rockets too close or I'm going to get it. So after failing multiple times to bring Golem to the arena, we do the opposite of what you think would work. Fill the pathway with lava. This way no enemies will spawn and we can finally fight Golem. And do you maybe want to take a guess at how long this fight took? I'll give you a second. Okay, so for the probably 3 people who guessed 22 minutes, you'd be correct. The main limiting factor was having to wait for the lava to drain out because I didn't make the basin big enough, but it gets slower and slower the longer the fight goes on, because guess what? The game has to load more and more of the lava moving, meaning it all slows down. Also, this information is not on the wiki, at least to my knowledge, but when the head detaches from Golem, the body actually becomes vulnerable to lava damage. Oh, I also forgot to mention in the period of missing footage arc, we also connected the arenas, which I mentioned was going to happen much earlier, but more importantly, there's one last weapon for us to get. The Snowman Cannon. Unfortunately, to get it, we must face the forces of both Holly and Jolly, the Frostmoon event of course. And if you guessed that the rocket launcher is completely unprepared to face this event, you get 39 points. Is that number a reference? Well, only for those with the eyes to see it. After finding out that saving the game to reset liquids also cancels the Frostmoon event, we put into place Rule 3 of the challenge. I'm bored, sniper rifle. Now that that's out the way and no one saw anything, we have an Elf Melter, a great substitute to help us get the Snowman Cannon, as hard damage with the rocket launcher is just not enough to get to wave 11, and with this honestly great weapon, shocked I've never used it before, we can finally take down Ice Queens until we have the Snowman Cannon. Would you look at the time, it's finally final boss rush o'clock. But we can't be hasty. We have arenas to build after all, and by arena, let's just say my asphalt skybridge that spans the entire world length. Why did I decide on this as my arena instead of something more normal? Well, it's a mixture of needing a flat surface and not being asked to get the Fisherman Mount or something equivalent. With that started on, we also have the Cultist arena to build, and also forget that there needs to be blocks placed where they spawn so that they can spawn in the first place, so with that sorted, we create a masterful arena using the legendary big platform technique. Now it's final boss rush time, but the Cultist was not having it as apparently I didn't hit him when I clearly did, and I don't know if the lava in the circle interferes with it maybe, but I definitely hit the correct one, and this guy said nuh-uh and summoned a bloomin' dragon anyway. But second time's the charm anyways, just this time ignore the fact that I summoned 2 phantasmal dragons instead of 1. And now, I welcome you back to the most complained about part of every Terraria YouTube video ever, the pillars! Yay! Fun, guys, I can't do this anymore. First pillar up is going to be the Vortex pillar. Just dig a hole and place some lava. Gaming. We all love gaming here, don't we? Second up will be Nebula, simply because I hate this stupid purple space sausage. I want it out of my world, and I want it out now. Third is the ever-cheesable Stardust pillar, and we all know the strat here. Die 4 times before taking down the pillar. And just before we go and, take out the final pillar and beat the game, I figured I'd need a Rod of Discord. So a quick farm switch up and a couple hours later, I had like 5 of them. I also figured we should reforge our Snowman Cannon, so I did that as well, on top of destroying all the Sky Islands that were getting in the way, because I was lazy and I didn't do it earlier, when I should have. And finally, we come to the epic conclusion of this run. The solar pillar was a breeze. And with all the pillars down, it was time to face the moon. Yeah, no, I ain't even gonna sugarcoat it. This fight was about 20 minutes long and ended when the stupid nurse couldn't stay in her stupid house. At this point, the world was so full of lava, I just couldn't anymore. This run had broken me. I even did one last attempt with the elf melter, but I sucked so bad that I died anyway. But that's the end of the video. No happy ending this time, maybe subscribe or something, and I'll try melting the Moonlord's testicles off some other time. But until then, I am not touching a bucket of lava, ever, again.